After I review Double Diamonds' draft, I'm going to show you what kind of draft you get when you go just by the magazine. Well, his quarterbacks are good, okay? He's got possibly one of the top 2 quarterback combinations in the LNFL. Now, I know it's been keeper leagues, but to have Aaron Rodgers and RG3 as your 2 starters, look, don't be kidding. RG3 gets running points. The guy's going to finish top 10 for sure this year if he can stay healthy, and that's a big if. But look, Shanahan's no fool. Now, also backing it up with Phillip Rivers, and sort of doing a late round flyer on Matt Flynn. That's okay, because when you've got those 2 guys and the 3rd guy ahead of that, you can take a flyer on Matt Flynn. I don't know if there's any arguments on this that those quarterbacks should be an A+ rating. With the running backs, on the other hand, he's good, not great. And then he goes from good to Alfred Morris, your definite starter. Okay, period. He can stay healthy all week. He's Carl Davis born again. David Wilson, on the other hand, I know this draft was done before Andre Brown got hurt. He's still a lot of upside, and I loved him last year. He could be a breakout player, but he's just unproven just yet. Here's where you killed yourself, drafting both DeAngelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Again, you're fortunate that Jonathan Stewart's injured, but when you have 2 running backs, you have no running backs, okay? You can't flip-flop which one of those guys is going to do well, so that I really don't like, especially drafting both of them. I don't like that at all. Late round flyer on Michael Bush, I don't hate that. It's okay, you never know. I just don't see anything that's solid other than your 2 starters. You have no depth there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I'm only going to give you a B. You pretty much lucked out good on your wide receivers. It was a little bit risky taking Demaryius Thomas 1st overall, but it's not that bad when there's already 30 players missing on a keeper league, so that's a safe pick. Grabbing Vincent Jackson too also isn't necessarily a bad move. So you got your 2 viable starters right there. Boom. So you've got room to take risks. You draft Mike Wallace. There's no riskier wide receiver in the league right now than him because he's got potential to be a 1, but right now he's nothing more than a flex. So you really, really did quite well in taking some good value with some steals with Michael Floyd and then Alshon Jeffrey in the 20th round. You did good on your wide receivers, boy. You're getting better. Wide receivers, A-. This is what happens when you go with the magazine. You look in the magazine and you look at your tight ends and you get Kyle Rudolph and you get Brandon Pettigrew and you're like, wow, I got some top 10 guys here. Pettigrew's maybe an 11 or a 12, but that's the thing. With tight ends, you need to get those first 6. If you don't get those first 6, you've got to really, really, really draft well later. But you did do too bad. You got the best of what was available. Regardless of best of what was available, it's not strong. Your tight end's good, not great, B-. Your defense was good. You took 1 in round 7, but it was Marcus Ware. Then everybody else was after round 10. You only took 6. You got a Sal Moskowski. You're doing good. You're doing better. But still, in seeing your draft and seeing there's no strong, really, really studs all around in that offense, and especially your tight end position, I cannot grant you an A. I'm going to grant you a